Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Bringing them out will be Kirk Cousins, born just outside of Chicago, played his college ball for the Spartans at Michigan State.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
On 1st and 10, Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th-rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Sproles. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he must increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a play fake. Wentz. He finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Shorty, shorty, shorty. Run, run. 81, 81. 357.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 67 yards.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Danielle Hunter is an excellent example of the right player, the right athlete, meeting the right scheme. And he found it in Minnesota under head coach Mike Zimmer. Many people thought he might have been too undersized to play defensive end. What Zim saw was a heck of a guy off the edge, super quickness, someone who can get to the quarterback in the right situations, and that's how he deploys him.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
46 down, man. 5-4. Hey, ram, 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 ram.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Lead 5 steps. Rip, rip.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Great, great. Rip, rip. 82, 82.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting him score a touchdown versus holding him to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Cousins now on second down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds, but that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 5 catches, 82 yards.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
On first down, Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the carry, it's Cook. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. Let's see how they defend him going forward. Right back to him on first down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Play action. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring Dallas on the sack. Everson Griffin with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. He's been a frequent target, and with catches like that, one-handed in the end zone, I'd keep going his way.
And he's doing it every which way, isn't he? 2 hands, and in this case, we just saw it with 1 hand. Almost reminds me of a great return of service guy in tennis. No matter how you whack it at him, it comes back at you. In this case, he just envelops it and brings it in.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Wentz going to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Everson Griffin in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They're going to run. It's Sproles. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. The broken tackle couldn't create a ton of space. He'll be taken down just beyond the 35-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And able to find Curley. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Working out of the gun, Cousins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position. And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands. Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. A final shot before half for Wentz. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Second down, Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A give. This is Cook. Looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. On 3rd down, Cousins. And
incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Shotgun now for Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Two jet. Black, come on.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Gordon. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side, but the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield, otherwise that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ram.
On play action, it's Wentz. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Wentz now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They run with Ajayi, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Hang in there now.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flush to his right. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down.
Hey, Lou. 81.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz, eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, put it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Again, it's Cook. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Wentz being chased out left, and he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter play. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted first and goal at the 5-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
They'll run with Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
2nd and goal from the 1. They come up in an offset eye. Cousins now on 2nd down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Nigel Bradham leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Throwing, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when...
And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it, try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
No, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job,
play.
Wentz. And that is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Trey 15, Trey 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
But Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. But probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth-quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Cousins to throw it. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Play action now. Cousins. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling. So much for being conservative and running that football. A first down throw for Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Cousins again. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Go. Great. 82. Hey, rip 5-2. On here.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Handoff comes to Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done. But, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Gray 15.
One final try now for Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the